Hey guys, it's your girl Victoria back to you with another review for Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 4, Episode 18, called Secret Sauce. And in this case, for this episode, I don't know what's going on in the sauce with all these people. So we start off with Trick. He has a cooking show called Bitch, I Got My Pots. And he said he's a real cook, unlike all these people, and he has real guests on his show, unlike all these other people. So they show snippets of some of the guest celebrities that be on his show. So I guess for this episode, he got Princess, and he's making oxtails, throwing a little shade to her Filipino oxtails that she made on social media, and I guess people were eating her up and alive for it. What I've seen from the little snippets that the producers done showed us, it didn't look the best, in my personal opinion. Maybe that's just the way they make it. He was trying to ride for her and defend her, but at the same time, like, you making the oxtails for the episode that she, saying that she didn't, people were eating her up on social media. So that leads me to believe that's like a little silent shade you throw in. I mean, his oxtails look great. It did. People do make oxtails differently, and I do like Haitian oxtails, but I'm sorry, the best kibef I had was Jamaican kibef. So I'm sorry, Haitians. My Haitian community, I don't know. Jamaicans probably put crack in it, and so I don't know what it is, but their oxtails by far the best oxtails I be having. So anyway, she's there. They talk about Ray J, of course, and Trick asked her if Ray J were to be a dog, what dog would Ray J be? So she says he would be a Frenchie because he has a lot of issues. And I don't know if Frenchies be having a lot of issues, but that's what she says. So, okay, whatever. Then they move on from talking about her and Ray J to Trick and Joy. So Trick is just like, well, we ain't never getting back together, but then again, I'm never gonna get married again either. So, I don't see the need. He don't see the need for divorce. He don't say that, but he did say they be trying to search for him so they could give him the divorce papers, and he be dodging them. So he be in hiding. But he on the show. So technically, I mean, how much can you hide? If she really wanted to serve the divorce papers, I'm sure somebody would find a way to serve him the divorce papers. I feel like that happened before, but in the case, they're still married, and he ain't looking to get divorced from Joy no time soon. And Joy, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You wanted this divorce for years now, and you still have yet to get it. And I don't know, present time of September 6, 2022, if you are in the process yet of divorce. But I'm so sorry, especially since you tied to him legally and financially on your credit. So last thing I wrote down, he said was, God don't make mistakes. God doesn't make mistakes, but people do, Trick. And in this case, Joy made a huge mistake. Maybe not in the beginning, but once again, I'm so sorry, Joy. I'm so sorry. Speaking of Joy, we move on to her. Her and David go apartment hunting. But just from the one apartment we seen that they were looking at, it was too small. She didn't like the sink. The sink looked like a kid's sink. And she's tall. And the height of the toilet wasn't good for her. The closet space was too small. So the realtor's just like, well, it looks like you need to get a house. And with as much as you're going to pay to, rent an apartment, you might as well get a house. But because Joy's still legally married to Trick, that's hard for her to get a house because everything that he does with his credit affects her credit. So she's just stressing out about that. She's talking with David about it after they meet with the realtor. And, David's just, the calm, cool, collected type, said, don't worry about it. They're still going to do them. They're still going to move forward. And I hope so, David. I hope so. I hope you are doing everything in your willpower to have Joy not remember Trick. And in this case, I feel like he is, because she don't even remember the year they got married. Even though she had the marriage license. But unless the attorney pulled that up, we'll get to that later. But anywho, they're going to move forward. Hopefully so, David, because Joy, this is season 4. And you've been talking about this divorce thing since season 1. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We move on to Flo. So she's sitting down with her sister and her cousin to talk about what done happened in Orlando and the lack of her management and what they got going on, and her meeting up with Dawn, and Dawn saying that she needs to get rid of Marlon, but she don't know how she feel about it. But of course, the cousin and her sister are like, yeah, you should get rid of him because you were a superstar before him. You can still be a superstar. You don't need him. But of course, that's her husband. So Flo's just like, yeah, but I don't want to do that. I want him to stick beside me. And she doesn't really agree with that. She want to still have Marlon with her, performing with her, being her duo co-partner or whatever she's trying to do with him. And they're just like, okay, you gonna do you, but I mean, you don't need the guy. And I hope Flo realizes that. I think she knows that, but they're trying to be Beyonce and Jay-Z. Anywho, they talk about Gael, and the sister Joy, she's like, I miss Gael. You guys need to talk and hash it out because I missed having her around. So Flo, I mean, she was listening to what her sister was saying. She was like, I don't really know about that. She asks the cousin. The cousin's just like, I don't know, because she could be weird sometimes, which, I mean, Gael is a weird one. I'm not going to lie. She is a weird one. I've seen that since last season. But at the same time, I think she's just being weird because she knew what she was doing behind closed doors with Marlon. So that's why she was being weird, and that's why she's being weird now this season too. Anyway, we're gonna see that debacle later on. We get to Debbie. I guess it went to commercial or something. So we get Debbie. She goes visits Gael at her restaurant, I believe. And Gael still has not talked to Flo yet. She still hasn't told her nothing because I guess she wants to choose the most inappropriate times to tell Flo about Marlon. So she tried to tell her at the Orlando thing, too much stuff was going on, so Gael didn't tell her then. And Gael's so scared to tell her, which I could understand. Being if I was in that position, I could understand being afraid to tell her. But at the end of the day, the longer you wait, the worse it's gonna get, and the more just be upfront from the get go and just work through it. Hopefully, I don't know, but excuse me, Debbie's just like, well, you need to tell her because the longer you wait, the more that Marlon could come and misconstrue everything that's going on between you two. So then that's when Gael was like, well, Marlon did come to her restaurant to tell her not to tell Flo. So then they show video footage from the restaurant of Marlon and Gael talking in the parking lot or whatnot. And Debbie's just like, okay, but so you need to tell Flo. So I guess this starts a whole back and forth between Debbie and Gael. And Gael's getting pissed off that Debbie's telling her what to do and saying Debbie needs to shut the F up because she's not innocent either. And pretty much Debbie could go F herself. She's not innocent either, Gael, but she already had her situation. She cleared, okay? She already done told Flo what she needed to tell Flo. That situation is one and done, okay? And he just ate her out. You've been sleeping with this guy for like 3 months plus. Okay? Technically, Debbie, she's still effed up. Okay, she effed up, but, Marlon, he ate her out, saying? Like, she didn't really do nothing, she just laid there and took it, but she didn't ride the guy, man, his dingling, she didn't do like making out. Did they kiss? I think maybe, I don't know. But, it was a one-time affair that he just ate her out. Was it wrong? Yes. But Gael, first off, you her sister. And not only he probably ate you out, you probably did fellatio on him, and both y'all probably did a lot of things that I wouldn't want to be a fly on the wall for. So, yeah. You can't really, you want to put it on Debbie, but her situation is gone. Your situation is still present, and I feel like your situation is worse. Wrong is wrong, but you had a full-blown affair, as you say, with the guy for 3 months plus. So, no, it's really on you, Gael. It's you're just mad because Debbie's situation is over and she got cleared with Flo. She probably not friends with Flo, but she don't gotta worry about keeping a secret no more. Whereas you, girl, okay, we're gonna see that play out later. So we get to Trina. I think this is the only time we see her in this episode. She's doing a photo shoot for her new single Clap with Lotto, and she looked beautiful in her photo shoot. And it looks like this season, part B of this season, all she is about being professional, getting what she needs to get done, and just working on her career. So while Trina's doing her photo shoot, one of her managers, CEO, sits down with Joy. And of course, CEO is one of the producers for Trick's cooking show. So he wants Joy as the guest host on the show. Joy's like, with all the stuff that she got going on with Trick and all the financials and the credit and all, she's like, she is not even thinking about being near that guy because Trick is Trick. So she's not even trying to do none of that. CEO pretty much understood. Then we get to Trina. She getting an IV in because after her little fallout part A of the season, she's not trying to fall out again. So in order to keep going and staying up and staying focused and doing what she need to do, she getting an IV inserted with her so she can stay hydrated and feeling good. Trina, I don't think you need an IV. Just drink water and just make sure you get your electrolytes in. Make sure you're eating too in between that. I don't think you necessarily need an IV. I know a lot of people who do that, work in a medical facility at an urgent care. People become, okay, we're not talking about me here. So I don't think she needed one. I think just by the, correct diet and rest and relaxation that she should give herself, she would be fine. But if she want to get IVs, by all means, Trina, get your damn IV. We move on to, before that, after she get her IV, or while she's getting her IV, Joy comes to talk to her, saying that her attorney went ghost. He not even answering her calls no more. Trina calling her attorney a scammer. So Trina got a new attorney that she gonna introduce Joy to. So then hopefully they could get the ball rolling on the divorce, because the divorce needs to damn happen. Yes, Trina, it needs to happen because you guys been talking about it since season 1. This is season 4, folks. I understand pandemic stalled things a little bit, but for goodness sakes, Joy, you've been probably trying to get a divorce since before season 1. So we need to get this show on the road, please. Anyway, we move on to Ray J. He sits down with his manager to talk about how to further move forward with this whole second sex tape allegations he got with KK and KW, I guess, since he's in the middle of all this. And I guess the manager was able to get an interview, I believe, with the Daily Mail, so Ray J could speak his truth. And Ray J's down for it because he just doesn't want to further embarrass Princess and his kids. So he's going to do the interview. We move on. There was nothing else to take from that. We saw it all on social media, all on the blogs. So, I mean, these couple scenes with Ray J this episode, it's not nothing much to talk about. It's really about Flo this episode. And Joy. Speaking of Joy, we have Trina and Joy. They go to divorce attorney Natasha Maine's office, and Natasha Maine, she seems like a girl that don't play. She already said it from the get-go. She's a lady that don't play. So Joy tells her about her situation with Trick and how he's just being very irresponsible with his money. So of course, the fact that he's effing up his credit is effing up Joy's credit, because in the state of Florida, you are one. I think that's in a lot of other states in the U.S. But, Florida is just something else here, man. I love Florida, because I'm from here. But we got issues, too. We got a lot of issues, I'm sorry. Florida's just going to be Florida. I still love it, though. I'm still going to rep for Florida. But it's not easy. It's not easy, but anywho, so Natasha was just like, well, they can definitely get working on that, but unfortunately, because if you don't have no prenup or post-nup, unfortunately, everything that happens between any of you guys' credits or, any of all that stuff, affects the other person, of course. So then that gets Trina into thinking about, maybe she should get a prenup because, she's not thinking about divorce, but neither was Joy when she got married to Trick, which is, Trina, you're right. I hope you do think about that. You should have been thought about that. Was you really gonna marry Ray? Not saying you was gonna do nothing, but at the same time, you really was gonna marry Ray without no prenup, without no postnup. Because technically, he was your assistant, so don't you pay him technically for helping you out? So technically, the ring that he bought you wasn't technically kind of your money because you pay. I'm just saying, Trina, please, yes, protect your assets. Definitely protect your assets, Trina. I don't know what your pocket's looking like, but I'm sure compared to Ray's, it's tremendous. So I need you to make sure your pockets are secured, and hopefully you guys last long time. When we get to, speaking of money, when we get to Natashas Rage, I was like, oh yeah, I can never, no, I $500 an hour for her services, and for the retainer fee, she said between 15K and something else. But when she said 15K, I said, oh, okay, thank you. No, I understand she's a great attorney. I get that. I mean, I'm not looking for no divorce, but I'm just saying $500 an hour, I cannot do. No, I can't do no $500 an hour. And they ain't sure cannot do no 15K for a retainer fee. Listen, y'all who got money, y'all go do it. By all means, if you trying to get a divorce and you need Natasha Main to help you out and you got the funds to, by all means, do you, boo. But for me, and the way I cannot. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to hit up Joy's attorney who went ghost on her, because maybe he like $5 an hour or something. Because I cannot. But Joy, like Trina said, you might need to sell some bags or something so you could pay for that retainer fee, because it's a pretty penny. You might want to wait till the Love and Hip Hop check drop in your bank account before you, because no. But we move on. Okay, Flo has a performance, I believe, from what Marlon said, it was at FIU, and she's getting ready at her glam shop, her beauty shop, and Gael and Joyce comes in, gives her a hug, and it looks like they kind of mend things a little bit. Gael says, she's always going to be the first sister, because Flo was saying thank you for supporting her at the Orlando disaster. So they seem to be doing good, and Flo makes mention of like, oh, is Marlon here? Because I guess he called her. So Gael's like, oh, he's coming here too? Flo's like, yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't know he was going to come to the beauty shop. I mean, not Flo. Gael, do you not know your sister by now? You know everywhere Flo goes, Marlon is not too far behind. Anywhere Flo goes, Marlon's probably a few steps before her, ahead of her. Marlon is always around the corner when it comes to Flo and any performance she got that has to do with a crowd of people. So, Gael, I don't understand why you shocked and surprised that he's gonna. Okay, whatever. He gets there. Gael acting hella weird as usual. They all to get together, hold hands, and do a prayer before the performance. Then they go to the performance. They go on stage. Flo is doing her thing. Everybody seems very receptive of her. We have Dawn on the sidelines watching, seeing how everything is going on with Flo and her, the way she do business, I guess. And of course, who she bring on stage to perform with her? Marlon. She lets us know that that's her man. She gonna stick beside him. And it's her career, and she wants him right by her. Whatever you want to do, Flo, that's your life. You want to, okay, at this point, Dawn, this is your moment to be like, oh, okay, she's gonna stick beside him no matter what. I need to go find someone else to manage that's actually gonna listen to me, because she's gonna stick beside him no matter what. Okay, but like I said, the performance goes well. It doesn't, I didn't take nothing bad from the performance at all. And of course, since it went well, Flo's on cloud 9. And she says the curse has been broken because with what happened in Orlando, she thinks there was a curse put on her. Okay, Flo, I wouldn't go as far to say it's a curse, but you just had the bad luck of the draw, and you just need to make sure your management is more on point next time there's a festival or whatever going on, to make sure you get you on the stage and perform and not booed. So I wouldn't call it a curse, but okay, the Flo wants to call it a curse. I mean, whatever. We get to Ray J. He goes sees Princess and the kids at an indoor playground, and Princess lets us know she feels so bad for Ray. They just watching the kids play, and Ray just wants to tell his kids about all the allegations and just be real with them before they hear it from anybody else. Yes, I agree, Ray J. That's probably the best thing to do, but you gotta mind you, they're little kids, and I know little kids nowadays are really smart. However, how are you going to explain to them where they can understand exactly what's going on? I mean, I guess you could say, a lot of people think daddy's a bad guy, but I promise you, daddy's not a bad guy. And when you get older, I will go into further details. But I feel like they'll just be like, okay, daddy. So I don't know if he plans to tell them now or when they get older, but hopefully he can explain it in a way that they'll understand if he is going to tell them now. Princess just tells him like she gonna be there for him no matter what, and he can always talk to her no matter what. So Ray J really appreciated that. He hugged her. Princess smiles and gets her reminiscing about how they used to be and all that stuff. And it's like, y'all probably gonna go home tonight and do the do because y'all just keep going back and forth. What else is new, Princess? What else is new, Ray J? Y'all fall out, get back together. Fall out, get back together. It ain't nothing new. That's why we don't even care about y'all season no more. We move on to Flo. Her and her crew, they still on the high from the performance. They go back to the restaurant. I believe they go back to Flo's restaurant and take shots and they party. And, Gael's dancing all up on her sister. Flo's on the high, so she's appreciating. She likes to have her sister back and that, hopefully they can reconcile things. And, Dawn pops up and Flo introduces Dawn to everybody. Flo lets us know she's not really getting rid of her crew, her management right now, and she's not really hiring Dawn right now, but she's entertaining the ideas and what Dawn has to say. So, of course, Dawn is telling everybody her observations and whatnot. And, of course, Betty immediately gets offended and is getting buck with Dawn. First, she's like, I'm not going to address you. I'm going to talk to you, Flo. But, of course, they end up starting going back and forth. Lucas kind of gets in it a little bit, and he's just like, well, you got to understand the way the Haitian community is, and the itinerary is different in the Haitian community as opposed to, I guess, Americans or whatnot. And then Don's just like, well, I'm trying to make sure she goes global and not stay local. And I felt that because coming on this show, I believe that's what Flo is trying to do. She's not just trying to stay in her Haitian community. Of course, she's going to love them because they're the first, people that showed her love, obviously. But she don't want to just stay in that one little niche. She don't want to stay in that one little bubble. She wants to grow. And I feel like getting on this show is helping her grow because people that don't know about Haitian musicians can like, oh, okay, cool. Let me check her out. Okay, I like this song, that song. And she can just grow from there. We seen Marla Negra. She was kind of local, but ever since coming on the show, I feel like that helped her become global and international. So, same like that. That's what Flo is trying to do. And I agree, you can't just stay one or small-minded. Lucas, you should know what your artist wants from jump. And if she wanted to stay local, I'm pretty sure she could have stayed local without coming on the show. So obviously, come on. Anyway, because I'm just going to repeat the same thing I just said. Dawn, I felt like what she said was right. And I do think she would be the better management for Flo, but we already see Flo ain't trying to hear nothing that Dawn has to say about her and Marlon. So clearly Dawn is not the right management for Flo. But they keep going back and forth. And this is the time where Gael feels like this is the perfect time to pull Flo to the side to talk to her, to tell her about her and Marlon. She said, I know this is probably not the right time. You think, Gael? Because you always choose the most inappropriate times to be like, okay, now I'm going to I'm going to tell her now. She's happy. She's doing it. I'm going to tell her now. Oh, she's pissed off about what happened at the festival. I'm going to tell her now. So they go sit on the side or wherever they sit out outside. And you know how Gael's so dramatic, And I believe, obviously she has some drinks in her, so she's probably a little loose. I can't keep a secret from you no more. The Flo looking at her like, Gael, what are you talking about? What secret? So, of course, this is when it goes to commercial for dramatic effect. Comes back from commercial for dramatic effect. And Flo's just like, pulls her cousin, her sister to sit with them because she's like, I don't know what she about to tell me, but I need my sister, my cousin to hold me back just in case I don't like what bullshit she trying to tell me. So this is when Gael tells the truth and says her and Marlon had an affair. And Flo's just like, Marlon. He comes over. She's like, no, matter of fact, everybody come over. Let's hear what Gael has to say. Gael, tell everybody what you just told me. So Gael repeats it. And Marlon immediately disagrees, denies anything. He's like, your sister just be trying to play with you. Gael has a problem, all that stuff. Gael's looking at him like, I got a proof, right? Marlon was like, yeah, where's the proof? You don't got no proof. Where's the proof? So Gael's like, I got a restaurant, it has cameras. And she got it on her phone. So she starts showing the video. And Marlon's like, that's not me. Flo looking at it like, no, Marlon, this is you. Marlon's still denying it all. So Flo, because she sees video proof of him going to the restaurant and talking, she's like, now I know my sister's not lying because Marlon did go to the restaurant to talk to her. So then she slaps him in the face. He back, staggers back and all this. This is a dramatic scene right now. So he staggers back. Then Flo tries to pounce on him. The security gonna hold her back. So since, things are getting riled up. So this is when, of course, Gael wants to get riled up. And she's like screaming and crying at the same time, it sounds like. And she tries to pounce too. But of course, the security's gonna hold her back too while she's going crazy. While Flo is going crazy. While Marlon's just like, I don't want no parts of this. And you got Flo just like, I stood beside you with all the stuff you got going on with Debbie. And knowing she gonna stay with him still. And then you have Dawn here just looking at like, what the hell did I get myself into? She looking flabbergasted at all the drama. And that's where the episode ends. And all of this for what? Flo's still gonna stay with Marlon. Marlon's still gonna cheat on Flo. Gael gonna be weird and find somebody else that Marlon cheated, on Flo with. Come to find out next episode, he got a daughter. Is it Gael's daughter too? I don't know. We're gonna find that out next episode. I don't know what else is going on next episode. Sukihana got something going on with her performance and people perform. I don't know. And Amara La Negra's mother is gonna cuss Alan out and hang up on him. And Flo and Dawn won't get into it because Dawn telling Flo she needed a divorce, and Flo is not gonna do that. Dawn, I don't know if you watched last season or technically part A of this season. Then again, you probably didn't. Okay, but Flo ain't gonna leave her man. Okay, she ain't gonna leave her man for nothing. The man could cheat on her every day over the year, and she ain't gonna leave him. So good talk, Flo. You can do what you can. Nothing gonna work. But that's it. There's nothing else to talk about here. I'll see you tomorrow for Married at First Sight. And as far as Love and Hip Hop Miami, that will be next week. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please comment on the theatrics that is Flo, Gael, and Marlon. And I'll see you next week once again. Bye-bye.